up for the conversation.
Oh, yeah. She look like she finna stick his ass.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who speaks, it's KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Love Island USA Season 6 Episode 18, and let's get right into the video. So after the coupling where Connor gets dumped, you know, everybody's just, you know, talking about their new couplings or old couplings. You know, everybody seems to be doing well except for Nigel. Nigel felt like, you know, when Liv chose to couple up with him, he felt some type of way that Liv was like, I guess, not, you know, choosing him because she really liked him and because she was upset for sending Connor home. So he was voicing that to Liv, and Liv was just like, well, I just sent my friend home, what did you expect?
In a couple now, you know, like I don't take that lightly, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You think I made that decision lightly?
like in that moment, I wasn't really feeling super, like, good about it.
Don't put that onto me.
I'm not putting it on you.
That is though.
She chose him because she saw there was like a potential to be, you know, explore a connection with him, because if she really was just doing a friends-up situation or choosing him out of pity, she would have easily chose to couple up with Connor. But obviously, because it's not an easy decision to send somebody home, or, you know, when you pick somebody or sending somebody home, she obviously was just a little upset. So he's kind of like voicing an opinion. He's kind of like doing what Kendall did when Hannah chose to couple up with him, and, you know, instead of coupling up with Hakeem, so Kendall kind of felt like, oh, Hannah didn't, like, you know, choose him. So that's what Nigel is doing with Liv, and Liv's just like, give me some time to, like, process that one of her friends left the villa. So with that being said, you know, he wanted to, like, say, oh, can you, like, give me a hug after the conversation? But Liv was just like, no.
Or at least give me a hug. Is that fair? You can't give me a hug?
I'm not affectionate.
So they all talked about it, and they were just like, you know, this is just like a heightened experience or heightened, you know, emotions. You know, you can't really judge somebody on that situation, but it just didn't seem like it was the right time for, you know, Nigel to confront Liv about being picked, because you could have been the person going home, Nigel. Like, you could have been the person going home. So I don't know what he was, you know, chatting Liv up about that for. Next thing you know, we see, you know, Janae and Kenny having a chat, and, you know, it's still early days. They're finally coupled up. You know, seems to be going well. I think Kenny's a little bit, you know, reserved. He, you know, a bit. So kind of nice to see. We don't know what's going on there, but, you know, early days. Glad that Janae is in the couple, and, you know, she's still in the villa. We have this new coupling, Leah and Miguel, and seems like Leah definitely did not like Connor, because she is moving with Miguel basically at the same pace she was moving with Rob, or even a little bit more, because she's touchy-feely with Miguel. She is not touchy-feely with Connor. She really wasn't. With that being said, we had Aaron and Kayler. You know, Aaron was talking to Kayler, basically telling her that, you know, he's basically to the point where he is having love for her, in a sense that he loves certain things that she does. They're basically talking about dropping that L word, you know, so, and they both feel the same way. So it's basically a topic of conversation in the villa that, you know, both Aaron and Kayler are basically feeling the L bomb towards each other. So that's a step in the right direction. Serena is basically telling the girls that, you know, she is a slow burner with Cordell. She does like him, so that is good news to hear, that, you know, Serena really likes Cordell. So we have this whole Rob and Cassidy situation where Rob is just not that into Cassidy. Like, they're trying to make conversation, and it's just ending up very dry. It's very dry. Like, they were having a conversation earlier in the day, and she was just like, you know, talking about animals or, you know, snakes. And she was like, oh, like, I know a snake. And she's like, it's you. And Rob basically gave her like this side eye, which was just like so funny because he did like this little fake laugh and then side eyed her.
I won.
But I'm just like, he does not like Cassidy. Like, he's trying to make it work. Because later on in the day, when he's talking to Aaron, he told Aaron that, you know, he's still having feelings for Andrea. So moving on, he then tells Aaron that he wants to talk to Liv because he's gravitating towards Liv. So we see Rob circling back to Liv.
Over the last like 3-4 days, I've just found myself like kind of like gravitating. Like when I see her, I'm like, oh, I want to be close to her. It's really weird. I don't know why. I just feel like at this point I know how she operates, and I feel
like he's saying like, oh, how she was earlier on is really not her personality, because now getting to know her and see how she is in the villa, he really likes this version of Liv than the beginning of how he met her. So he's circling back to Liv, basically chatting her up, asking her like, oh, does she like, you know, whatever. And you know, she's opening up to the idea of like, you know, circling back. She's not there just yet, but it's kind of interesting that Rob is circling back to Liv, because it's just like, don't they did not like each other? But we'll see how that turns out. So next thing you know, there's you know, the votes are in from Friday night, and you know, everybody gets to the fire pit. So we get to reveal who's safe. Li and Miguel was the first people safe. Then Janae and Kenny were second.
Janae and Kenny. Stop, no. No.
Janae was just happy because obviously her last time that, you know, she was in a vote situation, she, you know, was put at risk to be, you know, sent home, obviously. So she's happy that, you know, this time she's actually safe. You know, second couple called, safe, everybody's happy, like, happy for Janae. Aaron and Kayler are safe, Serena and Cordell are safe, and then Nicole and Kendall are safe. So that leaves Rob and Cassidy and Liv and Nigel. So then they told the Islanders that you have to save 2 people. Don't matter who, but 2. So they decide, and by saving them, you have to stand behind the person.
Safe Islanders must vote for the person they want to save by standing behind them. The 2 people with the fewest amount of votes will be dumped from the island.
So they said, we're not doing this whole Liv and Leah or backdoor situation anymore. You're going to make your vote known. So whoever you want to save, you better stand behind them and be on the Jumbotron, because we're not doing this, you know, oh, throw the blame on somebody else. Like, everybody in the villa knows who you voted for. So they had to stand behind who they want to vote for. And basically, all the girls stood behind Liv. They had Liv's back. You know, they all stood behind Liv. I think Leah was the second to last girl to stand behind Liv, and they were all telling, like, I hope Leah stands behind Cassidy, because Cassidy was on her solo dolo, standing by herself.
Yes. There's a wicked whisper calling. I can feel myself falling on my way down, down, down.
Which I'm just like, that was so sad. That was so sad, because Cassidy was just standing by herself. Kenny decided to stand behind Nigel, which I feel like that was real, because he both came into the village at the same time. Obviously, you know, you could be, you know, following Raw because he's in the majority, but, you know, he stood behind the person that he got to know the most out of the boys, which was Nigel. So that was real. All the boys basically, you know, just stood behind Rob. All the OG boys, of course, stood behind Rob. And, you know, the nice thing that they did, they, like, dapped up Nigel before stepping over. But Cassidy was just on her lonesome. So after that, you know, with that being said, Cassidy and Nigel are both dumped, sent packing. Cassidy felt some type of way because she was just like, not even one person stood behind her. And before this, she had a conversation. before this, she had a conversation with Leah about, you know, how she's just glad that, you know, she got to know her. She really likes her as a friend. Blah 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 blah. She was just talking to her about this Rob situation, that like, oh, he's a tough nut to crack. Da 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 da. And you know, there's having a little one-on-one girl chat. And to find out that Leah didn't even, after that happened, Leah didn't even stand behind her. She basically told the girls, like, you know what, not one of you guys stood behind me. So when she was packing, she's like, you know, I just rather be left alone. Da 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 da. Then she pulls Leah for a chat. Basically, was just like, it's kind of sad that like after everything, I stood behind you, whatever, and you didn't stood behind me. And Leah was just like, you know what, like, even though me and Liv had an argument, you know, I know Liv way longer than you. We have our ups and downs. Like, I'm wearing Liv's clothes. That's what she said. And you know what? She was just like, I'm sorry that I didn't do that, but it was a very tough decision.
Came in here and like had your back through a lot of stuff, like when I hardly really knew you, and kind of like showed my loyalty to you.
Yeah, I love you so much, but it's like I'm literally like wearing Liv's clothes, and like just feel like Liv was there.
I just feel like even if I had like one person behind me, it would have.
And that was a messed up decision, because to find out, like, to stand behind the people, it's just like really brutal. Like, it was very messy, very brutal, because to be in Cassie's position, that has to be the most upsetting situation. But it is what it is, you know. Liv got her people standing behind her. You know, Rob got his people standing behind him. You know, Nigel and Cassidy are gone, and Cassidy and Moore is tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night, so we'll see how everything plays out, you know, in the next episode. But Cassidy and Moore is tomorrow. Aaron and KylerB basically talking about dropping the L bomb, you know, being boyfriend and girlfriend. Nicole and Kendall seem to be really good. Serena and Cordell seem to be really good. So we'll see how that goes. You know, Rob and Liv are single, but they're looking at each other. So we'll see how that goes too, because Rob could just be like, oh, I'm staying single for Liv when Castle Moore hits. So we'll see how that goes. But that was the episode. Like, that was the episode. It was very much a filler episode, but it was very messy. Like, they're not gonna leave a messiness out of this episode. Like, every episode of Love Island this season has been messy, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe, and if you guys watch this video, peace.